This is WLUW 88.7 FM, Chicago, broadcasting live from the Water Tower campus of Loyola University. And we have with us at the Water Tower campus of WLUW, Larry Gardner. He's an artist and a very ardent supporter of artists as well. Welcome, Larry.
Not your boy back on. How you doing, Miss Trudy?
Very well, very well. So, Larry, you've been involved with the music for a long time. How did you start? Like, what inspired you to jump so deeply into music? For as long as we've known you, and it's been like about 7 years, you've never let it go.
Well, I kept going. I kept up the good fight due to the fact that music is kind of an outlet for me. You know, not to say it's not for everybody. I mean, it's just a way of kind of relieving some stress. Being able to control the uncontrollable. Being able to be artistic and express myself and my music, my story, my interactions, my experiences in a way that people will be able to, melodically digest it.
Hmm. And you've also been very supportive of other artists. So, at what point first, of course, you had to establish yourself, and then at what point did you start helping others?
So I'm still in kind of that process. The music industry, entertainment industry is kind of a long game. So as of right now, like using my platform independently, I am an independent artist. My platform is independent for artists by artists. So just being able to, I'm basically creating my own sparring ring, being able to do what I do, love doing what I'm doing, and possibly help any other up and coming artists or anybody who wants to tackle the independent lane as an artist entertainer, and being able to put their best foot forward.
So you also try to preserve the peace as well. What kind of peace?
Well, yeah, well, we are in crazy times, but that's not to say the least about the past or anything. uh, Everybody goes through their trials and tribulations every decade, every century, every generation has their quarrels, and their turmoil. So there's always going to be outlets such as music to and entertainment to help those or to be an outlet for those who want to kind of master the craft. So I believe that being able to be peaceful and progressive comes from you stabilizing and setting certain goals for yourself, being able to push yourself in a direction that can help you, kind of mediate and also delegate your feelings, your opinions, your ideals, and being able to just build on a more positive scale.
Could you give us an example where you preserve the peace?
Uh, well, usually, well, connecting to the up and coming artists and entertainers out there is kind of my my I want to say my lane in trying to help push more knowledge towards the youth. The youth is our future, and being able to lead by example with positivity and leading your best foot forward, trying to be in a better and more positive aspect of life. Being able to try and redirect that not only into your art, but also being able to try and establish some type of business mind or business subset to that.
How do you establish your rapport with the youth? Because they have other influences, and then you have yours.
Yeah, I see. That's the thing, and that's another thing. So bridging the gap. That's one of my biggest things. So we trying to bridge the gap, between the generations, especially when it comes to this entertainment and independent lane. A lot of stuff has been going on in the world, but to actually be able to find some type of commonality, common ground, to be stabilized and grow from, you know, that that's really what the aspect or the business model of what we're trying to do here, bridging the gap. You know, there's been some type of disconnect between the generations, and on my end, I think it's better to just, you know, find out some type of universal connection to where we can all come to the table and, you know, honor those who've opened doors such as this. I'm not the only one who's done something like this, just in a different way, or using a different resources or anything like that. So just being able to unify, be harmonious.
Hmm. Well, did you find situations where it was not that unified, and you stepped in and unified, and then lifted everybody up?
Yeah, usually it's through my music. A lot of my music, a lot of my, you know, inspirational content, um, pushing towards just the understanding. There's certain dynamics I believe that I would say, you know, that society has been missing, that, you know, people within themselves have been missing, and kind of just need a revisionary point in time, being able to, you know, work and understand how they move and how they should move when it comes to certain situations, how they should react and how they should digest certain situations, and just be able to push out the most positive outcome.
Hmm. Yeah, you said that sometimes people are missing something, and then you try to help fill that gap. Like, just a very general example, if you can, about what was missing.
Usually it's the connection, just the connection to things. Like, you know, there's levels to everything, and just being able to reestablish that notion of rites of passage, being able to level up, you know, being able to understand the level before you get to the next level, and try to complete that level. You know what I'm saying? If you miss a couple of steps, try and, you know, revise those steps so you can level up even better, so you know what to, you know, expect, or what hurdles to jump over when you do reach that level.
In other words, a lot of the youth that you encounter, as in youth everywhere, they're growing and they're making mistakes, and they have to pass certain levels in order to grow
Yeah.
and maintain their individuality. So,
Yeah.
do you kind of mentor them? If so, how? It's not that easy getting through to youth.
Yeah, no, just that's where the bridge comes from. Being able to, you know, work with somebody, I wouldn't say on their level, but being able to meet them to where they need to kind of, you know, reach for the sky, kind of. Being able to, you know, actually pinpoint, goal set, you know, brainstorm, planning out, goals set, all of that. All of that is within, you know, the whole dynamic of the prosperity, the progressionary. Um, so being able to really, like, learn the being able to learn the steps and still being able to apply them in the right, you know, areas of your life. And when it comes to, you know, music and business, that's kind of, it's like one and the same. It's just that, you know, the art is just you being able to be expressive about who you are, your opinion, your story, all of that. And then the business aspect behind it, just being able to know how to make that a little bit more digestible to the people.
Got it. So it's very hard to make it in the music industry, and then of course it's a cutthroat industry as well.
Yes.
But you still want that art to be maintained, and people to try to get realize their dreams.
Yeah, it's entertainment, you know, it's a very, very, very subjective lane to pursue, you know, but a lot of stuff is being watered down, a lot of stuff is being tampered with to where the actual, you know, like, music, entertainment is supposed to be exactly what it is. Entertaining. It's supposed to be entertainment, you know? Great, great entertainment. But then, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to overlap the entertainment so much that you kind of lose yourself in translation, or you become the advocate or poster child for something that's, you know, that's negative, but you didn't perceive it as that, or you didn't try to make it like that. Intentions, basically intentions. Know where your intentions lie and know how to apply it.
In other words, sometimes the community and the music, the movers and shakers, they want the music to be more applicable to a lot of people, and then as a result, the music becomes bland.
Yeah, it becomes, just sometimes you when you hammer or try to stick to a certain message or a certain lane of how you're trying to reach the people, sometimes it can be a little bit, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Repetitive. Can be a little repetitive, um, but there's still certain ways to kind of get the same message across. But again, knowing how to make it a little bit more accessible or digestible to whatever core audience you're trying to reach. It's just different lanes, and how you want to perceive that lane. But as an artist, you need to know exactly where you stand.
How do you make it more digestible and still entertaining?
Knowing which subjects to touch and which not to touch, kind of, or like comedians, yeah, there's a thing with comedians and all of that, but that's just, that's just it's subjective, but it's still entertainment as well. When it comes to being able to give the people a little bit of yourself, but still make it to where you're not trying to be a little touchy about certain situations, knowing how to speak or on certain situations, or how to talk on certain situations. But it's but again you don't want to lose yourself as an artist. You want to maintain that rigorousness, that your je ne sais quoi, so to speak, when it comes to you being the type of artist you want to, reach out to whatever crowd you're reaching out to. You might be a hood artist, you might be a driller, you might be trying to get a certain message out. Just know how to, not lose yourself. Be as real as possible, but still be entertaining. There's levels to it. That's why I say bridging the gap, learning from the past, the OGs who have been in the game, the OG R&B artists, OG hip hoppers, learning, taking a little piece of their pages and being able to apply it as an artist or a newfound artist, up and coming artist, entertainer, just being able to stabilize that lane.
So you also do comedy as well. How do you integrate the comedy with the music? Do you, or is it pretty separate?
I'm an MC, so it's pretty, it's kind of second nature to me at this point. So just I'm become confident enough to be able to speak on certain things. And shout out to one of the artists who I've been with for a long time, who's been helping me push the movement, the hashtag Let It Play movement, all of that. Big Bills, he's doing his thing in comedy. Shout out to a lot of the up and coming comedians that I've been working with. Jack Woods, they're mine is slipping. It's very early. Sorry. Michael Isaac, Calvin Evans, just being able to open up my platform, my lane, and being able to hopefully resource or network, or being able to build with certain artists of that caliber, being able to push the notion.
Mm-hmm. And my partner, Bill Morton of Sunday Morning with Bill Morton, he interviewed Spenzo, and Spenzo said that he worked with you. So could you describe to us a little bit about that?
Spenzo, yeah, Spenzo's very, very, art. Like he's very into his art. I've come across a lot of artists that's up and coming. I've been like that you could kind of see it, like bright eyed, bushy tail type. Like they're just newborn to the scene, newborn to the feeling and the craft of being able to be an artist about to hit their lane. And that's the one thing I like, because those type of artists, who are really into what they're trying to do, those are the ones that really want to be in it for the long haul. And again, this entertainment hip hop music game. It's a long haul game. So in order to stay consistent, stay progressive, persistent, you gotta have that vigor. You gotta have that type of fire that's going to push you and make you a little bit more disciplined in your art.
When you uh, when the artists perform, and then when they want to record, at what point does how necessary are the performances, and at what point do they want to record and then sell their music?
Yeah, that's kind of subjective on the artist. So whenever some artists they're a little bit more introvert, so they don't know how to kind of reach the people. So that's another reason why I do what I do. Being able to have a lane to where those artists can feel comfortable enough to be like, okay, I want to try this out before I actually hit the ground running. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Dip your toe in the water for a little bit, see what's going on. And then, once you get a grasp of a idea or some type of way you want to move, then I'm here for you.
So let's get back to Spenzo. When you said that he was bushy, bushy tail light and
Yeah.
very, very energetic. So he had that energy. He had that spark of like really go getting in this business, right?
Yes. Yeah. Spenzo's a great artist. He seems like he's honing into himself. Like he's honing into trying to do what he needs to do and push. And I am so grateful that he's willing to help or allow me to either help him or be a part of what he's trying to do and push his entertainment, his art as well. And that's really what it is being able to bridge that gap and being able to welcome. I'm a contender, so I like competition. I like sibling rivalry, if you will. So I like that. So he feeds off of me, I feed off of him. He builds off of me, I build off of him, and we move like that. That's how you gotta keep it. Kind of friendly sparring.
Well, that helps the both of you become stronger.
Yes.
How do you when you're emceeing? How is it in the back of your mind about creating something original as well? Is there always that part of you in the back just watching everything and then seeing an opportunity, something that you want to express while you're emceeing?
Yeah, I kind of I catch a vibe or two from different artists, that kind of made me think like, oh, maybe I gotta go back and do this on my end. So yeah, it's kind of a, I'm all, during my events, my shows, when I'm emceeing anything, yeah, I'm always in the background. If I'm not taking care of, or delegating something over here, I'm probably in a corner or somewhere thinking real quick. Might hit the stage and do something myself, and just keeping the vibe, keeping the spark, keeping it entertaining, keeping the vibe going and steady.
When did you start emceeing? Do you remember your first MC gig? Because you're now so good at it, but your first time, were you? Did you have stage fright? What was it like the first time?
First time I ever did like an MC was Zanies Comedy Club Rosemont. Shout out to Zanies. So,
How did you get the opportunity? You never did it before, right? And Zany's a big venue.
Yeah, so basically what that was, I was just starting out, lucked up, ended up becoming the security guard or doorman host for Zanies, and they caught wind of me doing my thing. When it came to my independent music, I kind of had a little bit of a buzz because I was headhunting back then. If y'all don't know what headhunting means, it means I used to hit up every, every open mic stage, every venue that I could possibly get my hands on, every pay to play, and just did what I did, performing, getting my name out there the best way I possibly could. And once they caught wind of that, the first time I was ever able to just MC was closing out a show for Zanies, being able to, you know, like on a midweek night where you had a, you know, a good, you know, good show, good artist. Sometimes they'll let me just close it out. All right, that was great. Larry the Lyrical's next. So thank you. Shout out to the managers of Zanies.
Wow. So when you no stage fright at that time because you were already performing everywhere, and then it was comfortable for you.
Yeah, so I had performing way before I started emceeing. So just the emceeing is another element to it because it's crowd work, you know, the master ceremonies. So being able to, it was kind of a smooth transition. I'm a hip hop artist. I'm fairly decent when it comes to public speaking. You know, speaking my mind kind of, you know, clairvoyantly. You know, so that's what I like. I like doing it. I found my lane and I love it. You know, and I hope, you know, to be more prosperous and, you know, hopefully be top tier one of these days. So just keep listening.
What is the art of emceeing? Do you reflect on the artist? How much background do you ask the artist about before you introduce them?
Well, so yeah, I usually before I even, you know, kind of like engage with artists to see, you know, what I can actually help them do on certain platforms. You know, I usually do the open mics, so just seeing like it's kind of refreshing to me just seeing new artists going up there. No, nothing, you know, too rigorous, nothing too you know, too serious. But when I see them go up there with that seriousness in their eyes and their heart, and they actually, you know, put forth a good show, then that's what makes me, you know, kind of pinpoint where to go with that type of artist, how to work with them, or give them certain outlets or resources that might push them in the direction they want to go.
Well, but I've seen artists like on shows before, and then they first are so nervous they're like ready to faint. But once they start to perform, they become another person because they enjoy it so much. Are those the special ones that you see?
I mean, no, just because, you know, art, entertainment, hip hop, anything where you just got to be in front of a crowd is crazy within itself, because, you know, a lot of people are skeptical about, you know, getting their opinions out there and things like that nature. But sometimes, you know, when you got something good, you just got to step right on in it. Can't really be afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, a lot of missed opportunities are you know, had because of that. You know, you miss you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
What about the audience when you MC? How do you engage with the audience? Do you ask the audience members to step up to the mic too if they want to, right?
yeah, that's the reason why I like doing the open mics, because, you know, sometimes you get those people who you know, oh, I could do that, and then they step on stage and give a little 1-2, and it's not really what they thought it would be. So it's kind of that part is funny too. But yeah, you have, you know, sometimes you have those 1 in a million people who surprise you because they, you know, they're not really into the lane, but they know about the lane. They do their craft, but they're not really set into it. So just, you know, kind of, you know, they do their 1-2. So it's kind of funny to me. I like it though. It keeps me on my toes too.
Do you ever have any artists that began with you and then now they've transformed and become better?
Way, I have a lot of them. Again, Big Bill's doing his thing. Darius Saw. Shout out to the Shot City Cypher crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the you know, Sub T crew. Shout out to Dave. I was about to say his old name, Jerry East. Shout out to Jerry East. You know, Orlando Coolidge, Byro, Young Vet. I've worked with a lot of those people, and they're amazing. They keep me on my toes. So anytime I'm able or ever to do an event or set up something with those guys, it's always a great time.
So you were a bouncer too before before all this.
Yeah.
So what if when you're emceeing and then maybe some audience members or members become inebriated and then cause a little ruckus? How do you handle that? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, it does quite a few times. But see, so when I'm the MC, I can't really, step down and talk somebody else. So we got security for all that. So usually, if I do something, I'll talk about them. I'll do my little Martin bit. You know what I'm saying? That's where the comedy comes in. Like I like hecklers. I'll say my little thing too. So if you like the heckle, oh, okay, let's do it. I got you.
You like to well, it's a little different way of diffusing the situation.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hmm.
Catch somebody off guard with a joke that they didn't expect you to say. Oh, it's hecklers are a little ballsy, so you got to be just as ballsy.
Hmm. And is it difficult being as bossy as they are?
Mm, no, I've been doing this for too long, so it's kind of comfortable.
For how long now? Because we've known you for how since 2017, so that's 8 years. So how long before 2017 were you doing all this?
Let's see. Started writing in '05, started recording in '07, and started doing production work in '09. Shout out to Central State University. Just had their homecoming this past week.
Oh, congratulations! So that's 20 years of honing your craft and sticking with your dream.
Yes, yeah. You gotta. It's the long haul game, King. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just keep it going. You gotta keep it trucking. One thing I took from rest in peace Nipsey Hussle and rest in peace to all the other, all the other people before me who understood the game. And big shout out to all of those people who still living and still doing it. Like they the ones who taught me entertainment is, you can, it takes 10 years to be an overnight celebrity or more. So it just depends. It depends on how you keep it going.
So what do you see in your future? What are your plans?
My plans is to still stick around, still be around for a little bit. I got the inspirational content going as well. So it's not just the music on my end, and again, I'm collaborating with a few other people to do, some videos, videography, uh, movies. I'm working on that, so stay tuned. I'm staying tuned. Shout out to my homie Chris. Shout out to Chris Cray Films. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing, Butt Crew. It's a whole collective of independent entertainers and artists, and photographers and videographers. It's actually coming together, and I'm working with them on a few things. So shout out to you guys.
And uh, so you're going into film too, like movie making, right? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, more on the directing side,
Oh, good.
co-hosting. I'm an actor, a little bit of an actor myself. So
Hmm. Well, we have a kind of a common friend. Did you work at all with Aaron Swiftman? He was my friend at. He's still my friend, but we met at Northeastern Illinois University, and
yeah, shout out to NEIU.
hmm do you know Aaron?
I've double A, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
met,
got it.
yeah, double A, yeah. We've had the pleasure of blessing a few events together and doing our things together. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. It's been a minute since we connected, but shout out
Right.
to him. The best. Yeah.
And okay, so if our listeners want to learn more about you and everything that you're doing, where should they go? Larry
Uh,
Gardner.
So, yes, I do have a secondary website in the works. It'll be out very soon. So, stay tuned for that. If you guys just want to keep in touch, keep in tune with what's going on with the hashtag Let It Play movement and anything else that I'm doing or associated with, you can Google the name Larry the Lyrical. Kind of touch bases on every platform that I'm working on. So that's one easier way. Other than that, follow me on YouTube, LA-T-LY, LATLY 773, and we're soon to be monetized on Rumble. So that website will be up soon. So again, just Google. You can Google me, and then it'll kind of just lead the way from there.
Okay, thank you so much, Larry Gardner.
Hey, Chichinat, your boy back on, LA-T-LY. Thank you so much, Miss Trudy.